play.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Somebody can join in the live chat and tell me if you don't hear me loud and clear. We're from the soon to become familiar location of the bar in the middle of the Alameda de Hercules. Perhaps they should even be paying me for the sponsorship that you can see behind. Well, it's not sponsorship. I just want to make that clear. It is not. Anyway, I'm here. I have the beer ordered today. I ordered a large beer rather than a small one. So, yes. Do let me know in the live chat, by the way, your thoughts. And hopefully, by the way, I'd say I am coming through pretty clearly. And yeah, cool. Cool to have you with me and cool to be talking tennis once again. Where shall we begin? We've done a few interviews today, press conferences, etc. We have an exclusive interview to post later on the show with Daniel Collins. So let's start with that, shall we? And Daniel Collins' straight sets win. We're sort of going to start with the most recent, if you like, at least in terms of results. Daniel Collins winning and putting the USA 1-0 up or 1-0 up against Switzerland. So as I said, we spoke to her earlier on. What did we speak about? About perhaps having a bit more purpose than ever before, extra motivation, because of course Kathy is no longer going to be the captain after this particular tournament, and how much of inspiration Danielle said that she was for her. That was during her press conference, but we also, as I say, had an exclusive with her one-to-one later on. So I will bring you all of that. But anyway, regarding her match today, she won in straight sets, as you can see on the screen right now, putting the USA 1 up. Beating Celine Neff. By the way, Celine Neff's press conference I've just uploaded for members only. So Celine Neff's press conference is up there for you guys, so you can check that out if you are a member after this particular show. But as you can see, yeah, Daniel Collins won in straight sets, 7-6, 6-1. In the one-to-one, we spoke about Australia 2022, Australia 2023, and Australia 2024. We spoke about those three parts of her history, but also her future. We also spoke about perhaps one day even maybe becoming team captain herself of the USA team. So all of that to look forward to from both her press conference and the interview we had. But regarding her match today, we also spoke about this in terms of perhaps losing a bit of concentration in that second set, and whether that was the reason why she had such a comfortable advantage, but she missed a couple of easy shots. So USA in charge at the moment, at least, of that encounter. And I think the USA team, I tell you what, a USA Czech Republic final. What a tasty encounter that would or could be. That would be particularly exciting, I think. I mean, Italy, by the way, already through. We'll come to them shortly. That's a third country. I mean, Italy, the only team actually right now that are already in the semi-finals. Beer, sip, check. Czech being the operative word, is probably the favourites for this tournament. Do you like that little pun there? But like I say, yeah, so USA 1-0 up, but they've not got the job done yet, although the latest scores are that Kenin is up a 1-0 on the Swiss Golubicic, so that would obviously give them an unassailable lead. However, Kenin I think she was serving for the match, so seeing it back to 5-5 there will be a little bit of a disappointment for both her and the Americans. But can they get the victory that they seek? Right now, of course, we've got Canada as well, also in progress against Poland. So they are 1-0 up in their tie, with Stakosic, by the way, coming from 1-0 down to beat Magdalena Fresh. So fresh off the court there. All right, I won't do any more. Fresh off defeat there, but a victory there for Stakosic, who's really starting to build an incredible reputation for herself after her very impressive win against the Spanish yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday, I think. So, yes, the Canadians there already in a good position. And Fernandez-Linette, arguably one of the matches of the day. But we also saw how phenomenal Fernandez was a couple of days ago. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. What else is there to bring you from today? Well, we've had our first exits from the tournament in the shape of the French and the Germans. Particularly galling, I would suggest, for the Germans, who've only just arrived. Basically, I mean, I say just arrived. They've obviously been here for a few days, but players such as Laura Siegemund, who said in her press conference that she, I think, left Cancun at around about midnight on Saturday night. On Monday night. And arrived here and managed to have a little bit of practice, but she looked particularly jaded. And she did say that that travel and exhaustion did have an effect in terms of her performance in the doubles today. So, yeah, a lot of disappointment on the Germans' faces. I say having just arrived because they just arrived in terms of playing the tournament. Their first match was today, and they're out. The French, at least, who are also out, at least they had a match yesterday before knowing their fate, whereas the Germans, because they obviously lost to Italy, who've now got a 2-win situation and an unassailable situation. In fact, I tweeted out the group scenario after the groups had been sort of at least halfway through today earlier. So let's see if I can find that right now. Yeah, here we go. So if I share this is before the USA and Switzerland got underway, and before Canada and Poland got underway, where, of course, they're still obviously in the middle of their matches right now, their ties. But as we can see, the USA, if they were to beat Switzerland, there would be a shootout between them and the Czechs. Ah, yes. What a pity they're in the same group, because I think that would have made a really tasty final. But only one can go through. And what a clash that would be if the USA were to confirm their authority over Switzerland, which Sophia Kenin could well seal in the next few minutes. Who knows? Even while we're live on air, she may seal that. And therefore, USA would go into a winner-takes-all encounter with the Czechs tomorrow, which would be tastier than the tapas that is served here in Seville. Okay. But yes, Czech Republic, USA, look forward to that. Tick. Of course, the Swiss are not quite out of it yet. They need to come from behind and beat the Americans, and then hope that then the Americans in turn do them a favor against the Czechs. But it is looking like a tall order for the Swiss either way, I would suggest anyway. So we'll see how that pans out. What else have we got? Well, Slovenia and Australia, as you can see there in the group. Kazakhstan, maybe a surprise defeat for them in that they've obviously got Rybakina and Putin-Saver on their team, and Putin-Saver won her match today, but Rybakina didn't play. I spoke to somebody in the Kazakh team a couple of days, or yesterday actually, who actually told me that it was unlikely that Rybakina would be taking the court today because of some sort of illness and feeling a bit jaded. But she was there on the bench, which is nice to see, at least in terms of support. I noticed that Paolo Badosa yesterday wasn't on the Spanish bench, at least for the match I saw, in terms of supporting the team, but could be all sorts of reasons for that. So also, as we can see from this group, the fate of Australia hangs in the balance. I think with Kazakhstan losing that match, it confirms that they can't progress from the group, and it'll either be Australia or Slovenia. Slovenia obviously in pole position right now. Canada, Poland, Spain. Spain, the home team, if they wish to progress, they need a Poland victory in that match, and then hope that they can beat Poland. They need some results to go their way, but a Poland victory followed by a Spanish victory over Poland, but it would need to be an emphatic Spanish victory probably over Poland, as in like 3-0 for them to have a chance. But it's not over for Spain just yet, but obviously, as you can see, 6-0 as well, not helping their chances. If you are in the live chat, by the way, feel free to let me know what you think of the goings on in Seville, or perhaps even elsewhere. maybe we can even reflect a little bit on the ATP Turin draw, but I think Damien and Anastasia covered that pretty thoroughly earlier. So, what else have we got going down? Italy, France, Germany. Yeah, Germany out already. Took the court around lunchtime, and by late afternoon they were done. I know how that feels as an England fan. I don't know how that feels as a German fan in terms of football, but that is a pity for them. And yes, a lot of frustration on the German faces in the press conference afterwards. France are also out, by the way. But it's the Germans, of course, who I was suggesting were possibly even more frustrated because they only just took to the court today. Laura Siegemund, as I touched on earlier, she did play her doubles match, but they lost 11-9 in the third set. But the curious thing about the doubles encounter with Italy and in terms of the German lineup was that Tatiana Maria was due to take the court in that doubles encounter. As we can see here, the doubles pairing of Cocciaretto and Bronzetti, they won in a deciding set tiebreak 11-9 over Friedsam and Laura Siegemund. But Friedsam was not initially on the list to play. Tatiana Maria was. And I hear you say, oh, but maybe Tatiana Maria felt jaded or felt tired or got injured during one of the singles matches. No, she wasn't involved in either of the singles matches. So I asked the team captain what was the idea behind the late change of heart, and he said some issues, but he didn't want to elaborate. He then decided to say a bit more later on by saying that there were some personal things. And then he said, oh, I want to rephrase that because that could be misinterpreted. And it was a matchup decision. But then I was thinking to myself, why choose Tatiana Maria in the first place? Don't know. A mystery. Either way, she was a late change and she didn't play at all today. But for her sake, I do hope she gets to take the court tomorrow. But of course, for Siegemund, she's had obviously an incredible year on the double side, winning the WTA finals title with her Russian partner recently, or as recently as Monday. Gets on a plane Monday night out of Cancun after press commitments there too as well, and would have arrived here, I guess, around about sometime on Tuesday, late on Tuesday perhaps. She did say she took a bit of practice yesterday, but Laura Siegemund did say it played a part in that third set loss, in that she was feeling the fatigue during that match, possibly from also the on-court exploits in Mexico, but possibly also the jet lag and the travel back. She looked particularly tired and sleepy as she stepped away from the table at the press conference. So perhaps that had an influence. Of course, they were already 2-0 down and taking nothing away from the Italians as well, who have now sealed their spot in the semi-final. An incredible effort from Team Italy. They now await their fate, and they will see who they're going to play in the semis. Let's just go back to the groups there. It's Italy through. It's Canada looking good, shall we say? But a lot can change if they lose to Poland today. But they have won their first encounter there. So they are 1-0 up against Poland. So we'll see how that one pans out. Slovenia in pole position. I guess if they get their nose in front. But of course, it was only 2-1 against Kazakhstan. So this group is still wide open. Australia just sit back and wait and see what happens. But I think it'll be difficult for Australia to progress because they have 3-3. Whereas if, for example, Kazakhstan beat Slovenia 3-0, it'll be Kazakhstan that progress. If Slovenia win by any scoreline, it'll be Slovenia that progress. So Australia needs some unusual quirks of results, if you like, to progress. But it's still in Kazakhstan's hands despite that loss. If they do crush Slovenia 3-0, that will see them through. But a win for Slovenia of any description will see them progress, whereas Kazakhstan need to do it 3-0. And probably Australia need Kazakhstan to win 2-1. But then also hope the sets advantage plays in their favour. But given that Australia in sets is 53-66, but because of the close nature of the Australia-Kazakhstan match today, it would appear that it's going to be difficult and take an incredible turn of events for Australia to progress. Yeah. Anything else in the press conferences today? Yeah, dejected. I mean, a dejected France too, no doubt for them. I mean, with Garcia on the team and Clara Burel as well, coming here and going out early on. So there's a match for them to play against Germany tomorrow, which will be a sort of wooden spoon match, as we would call it in English, to see which of them basically finishes bottom of the group. Any other final points on the Billie Jean King Cup? Not really. I would suggest let's just see how it pans out. Or let's have a quick look at some live scores, perhaps, just to see if. I see Fernandez and Lynette have got underway. Lynette serving first. So that'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. We will have to wait and see. Just a second. Let's have a quick look. I want to see what the score is between the Americans, because they may have gone into a 2-0 lead. Oh, interesting. They are into a second set tie break. So Kenan wins the tie break. If Kenan wins this tie break, the USA have won the match and really and basically set up that encounter with the Czech Republic tomorrow, which is just going to be insane. And for those of you wondering why Czech Republic's team, I wonder if they might just miss Mukova in the end. Let's have a quick look at their team for the Billie Jean King Cup. I just wonder if that loss of Mukova might just tip the balance in favor of the Americans. By the way, the Americans team is Sloane Stephens, Danielle Collins, Sophia Kenin, Taylor Townsend, and Peyton Stearns. Peyton Stearns had a good US Open. I mean, probably of the 5 players, she's the sort of, least established one, if you like. But on the Czech Republic team, we have here Buskova celebrating her victory over Golubic yesterday. Who else is on the Czech Republic team? Noskova as well. So, you can see why. Krejcikova and Siniakova in the doubles as well, as they rounded off a 3-0 win yesterday. So you can see why pretty, Krejcikova could also play singles if necessary, to give players a rest and to mix it up a little bit. But Krejcikova and Siniakova as a doubles pairing, you would imagine that they would even win that one against the Americans. So probably a little bit of pressure on the Americans to win both the singles matches. I mean, no guarantees that Krejcikova and Siniakova would be a pairing of, Stephens and Townsend, for example. But that is to look forward to tomorrow. A lot of tennis to come. Then, of course, we have the semi-finals on Saturday and then the finals on Sunday. So, any other final things to sort of tell you about regarding Billie Jean King Cup or anything else to come? Yeah, make sure you hit like and subscribe, because, as I say, some exclusive footage to come, including some interviews, and also click like and click subscribe and also all that stuff. Become a member. You can hit join below, and you will get some exclusive perks from, exclusive interviews. And I've said exclusive a lot, right? All right. I think we're done. Thanks for stopping by. And everybody, you know the drill.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.